Hi all, welcome to part 3 of Project EXO200. Right, so what have I been doing since the last video? Mainly watching lots and lots of YouTube videos to try and find out any more information. K2024 forums and stuff, I've not had a whole lot of info from, so if you know anything about those engines, it would be great if you could get in touch with me. So what have I been up to in the last couple of weeks? Wow, we have a logo. Hey! Well, that's an achievement in itself, isn't it? I've also started reading lots of books. So I'm off on holiday at the end of the month. And I'm really rubbish at sitting around on the beach. So I've started on this one. And this is my holiday reading. You can see it's a little bit of light work for whilst I'm sat on the beach and my wife's sunbathing and all that stuff, and I'm getting hot and bored. I'm going to be reading all this stuff and rereading the good old Haynes book. Before I go any further, it's again a massive thanks to all these people who have replied and given feedback from the last video, and especially Julian, who has a whole library of books, one of which is this one that he's been good enough to post down to me, and I've started reading that one already. Julian, it's really great. Thank you very much. As part of what I'm hoping to do with this sort of YouTube stuff is to try and get a bit of a community of people who are kind of knowledgeable and willing to share that knowledge. I thought I'd just share a couple of the channels that I've been watching to learn a little bit. This guy, I think he's over in Canada, but he's done a whole series. Some are technical stuff about suspension, which is really interesting. He made a car actually using a Honda chassis quite a while ago. But the main one I've been watching is the one about this project where he's built a time attack car. We've also got we've got Skidmore's Garage, which is a really good channel. This chap races minis, but like space frame minis, and obviously makes them for other people. Seems to be really high standard of work. But his are great for watching, for getting ideas of how to solve problems. Guys over at Pedalbox who are taking a long route to build a rear engine kind of converted low cost. And that's the last one I've been looking at. The MK ones I find quite useful. Oh, here we are, yeah, Builder Creator. This chap's trying to build a car that is far more ambitious than mine. He's basically trying to build this car in his garage. Again, very interesting guy. Anyway, my plan is now, so I've got all these details so I can look at the chassis size and details for the Haynes low cost. So now, believe it or not, that is a drawing of my ExoBusa. And it's obviously full of blank. So I'm going to go outside now and I'm going to fill in all the measurements. The main reason for this is obviously I've driven this car around now for what, nearly 2 years. So I've got a pretty good idea of how it handles, but also the sort of ergonomics of it. For instance, the chassis width, I want to make the car just slightly wider. I know these things are never going to be big and never going to be comfortable, but at the moment, basically if I try and use the handbrake and or change gear, I elbow the passenger all the time. So there's probably, I'm thinking about 10 centimeters wider. There's also some people that know about these chassis things might be able to help. Most supercars, the track width is up at about 2 meters. However, most of these sort of exo cars and kit cars, and even the Atom, seems to be 1.6 meters. And my own, oh, you have to excuse my finger there. I managed to, doesn't that look pretty? I managed to slip I was trying to pinch something up with a pair of pliers. The pliers slipped off and pinched my finger up. Oh joy, yeah, that really bloody hurt. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, aren't I? Welcome to the world of ADHD sidetracking. Where was I? Yeah, 1 meter 60. So I'm not too sure why 1 meter 60. It can't be coincidence that they all seem to be much the same. But it's my very, very basic understanding that the wider the track, the better, because you have less roll and you should corner better because you've got wider track. I suppose there's a limit on this, because if you go really, really wide, you actually, say like a chicane where you go from one direction to the next, if it's very wide, it's harder to kind of straight line it. A bit like a motorbike can straight line some chicanes that cars have to slow down to go around. Anyway, if any of you people watching this kind of know about that, I would like to hear. That would be really good, and keep the feedback coming. Anyways, I'm off outside now with my new toy, which I should show you in a minute when I'm outside. And I'm going to measure up this chassis so I can put some numbers on this and just start early kind of planning of what's going to be what for the new car. So here's the new toy. Oh yeah, it's a laser tape measure. Oh, right, so I'm gonna go find a tripod. Okay, so there's some rough measurements. So what I thought I'd do is have a little walk round of the ExoBusa, just pointing out a couple of things that I would like to change. So if this is my car, but if I could start from scratch, which is what I'm doing, these are the things that I would do differently. First, it's always puzzled me why there's 3 side chassis tubes here. None of the other Exo cars I've ever seen seem to use these 3. So MSUK regs state the size of the roll bar and the type of material you have to use, which is great. They also state that you have to have like a bar here that triangulates it, but that bar can go forward. So what I'm thinking is this, if this went forward, would offer more support and kind of be lighter, because we'd use one flat chassis there and then triangulate down from here to either here, or there's almost like a front roll bar underneath here, triangulate onto that, so it'd be much higher, not so high that you couldn't get in, be a bit more of a step than currently, but I think that's doable even if it comes down from here. But I'll have to check the regs whether it has to actually come from the very top, and it might need to be straight. I'll have to check all that. One of the things I've never liked about this car is the bar that's underneath here is about this level, and effectively if I ever went over, my head's only just below here, so my arms are certainly outside of the line that would be protected. So I actually want to either make this higher or the steering lower. I'm certainly going to make the seating position more reclined, partly to get my head down, but also because the lower I can make this thing, the easier it would be for the aerodynamics. Footwell size can be narrower than this one is, especially as I see no reason to have this chunk down the middle, because this has got things like pipes and the electrics running through. I'm going to have side radiators on mine, so I don't need that. The pipes can just be, electrics can just be clipped to the floor, so I can go a little bit narrower there. Fuel tanks I haven't made my mind up with yet, and I'm definitely going to go for inboard shock. Now this is something people might know about. All the Exo cars I've seen, the shock is mounted, basically you have a push rod where that shock is, and then the shock is mounted up high. Now to my mind, if there's space, you want to get everything that's any weight as low as possible. So I'm not sure why you don't have a push rod down and the shock kind of mounted on the floor pan. If anyone knows the reason why they all seem to be mounted up the top, the only reason I can think of is for easy access to adjust them. But you know, if it's down here, it's not going to make that much difference. If you know the reason for that, please let me know. Using the car engine, this section will be smaller because this has to be elongated, because basically we've got the chain and a diff there. So this section will actually be smaller, which means I've got more at the front room to play with as well. Which obviously I'm going to need a bit more room. If I'm led back further, I'm going to need more leg, sort of head to leg room. So this distance from here to here, here to the pedals, is going to have to be slightly longer. Okay, so that's it for this week's muttering and waffling. As always, you really help this project along if you would like and subscribe the channel. If you've got any feedback, that would be absolutely brilliant. You know, I'm learning as I go along here. Learning quite a bit actually, but you know, learning as I go along here. So any information you got would be brilliant. Anyone who's expert at all in any of these areas would be really good if you'd sort of come on board, and even if it's just the odd message just with some info, that would be absolutely brilliant. But like and subscribe is also brilliant, because then I can get the channel going a bit more, which means I might get a few pennies in from YouTube. Anyway, that's it for now. If you're really lucky, you might even get a video of me reading some books on the beach in a couple of weeks. But I might spare you that. Anyway, cheers and bye. Hi, thanks for getting to the end of the video. If you're not already subscribed, please do so now. Just hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell button, and that way YouTube will tell you when there's any new videos. We've got some big plans ahead for the channel, including possibly a car build from scratch. So if you want to get involved with that, now's the time to subscribe. Cheers then, bye.